Revived human supercarrier shocks the galaxy. The coalitions will shattered. The galaxy had almost forgotten the humans. Centuries had passed since the last human war, and most alien species believed that humanity was gone forever. The coalition fleets, a collection of powerful species, patrolled space with confidence. They no longer worried about the humans. They believed that humanity had vanished like a fading star. Near a dead star in the outer sectors, a small coalition survey fleet moved slowly through the darkness. Ships of different shapes and sizes floated silently, scanning the empty space around them. Commander Jard Hill, a tall human-looking species with gray skin, looked at the scanners. "Nothing here," he said, shaking his head. "Just dust and radiation. Move along." The fleet's lead vessel, a sleek triangular ship, suddenly detected something unusual. "Commander, I am reading a massive object drifting near the edge of the star's orbit," said Lieutenant Nina Hall, a young officer with short blonde hair. Her voice trembled slightly. "It does not match any known structure in our records." Jard frowned. "Show me the readings." The holographic screen in front of him flickered and displayed the image. A massive silhouette appeared, barely moving. Its shape was long and rectangular, like a city in space. The crew gasped. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. "Is that a human supercarrier?" asked one of the junior officers, his voice low. Jard shook his head. "Impossible. All human supercarriers were destroyed more than 200 years ago, every one of them. This has to be a trick of the sensors." Nina adjusted the scanners. "No, sir. The energy signatures are faint, but they are real. It is massive. It is alive somehow. I can feel weak power pulses coming from it." The fleet grew silent. No one spoke for a moment. The supercarrier had been missing since the last human war. It had become a legend, a story used to scare children or boast about alien superiority. Now it was real. Floating silently, dark against the dying light of the star, it seemed to watch them. "Send a closer ship," Jard ordered finally. "Get visual confirmation. Keep a safe distance." A small reconnaissance vessel detached from the main fleet and moved toward the massive silhouette. Its cameras zoomed in, showing details of the hull. The supercarrier was huge, easily 3 times the size of any coalition battleship. Its surface was dark, almost black, and etched with lines and shapes that were strange to the alien eyes. The metal looked old but unbroken, as if it had waited for centuries untouched. Lieutenant Hall's eyes widened. "Commander, it is activating." Jard leaned forward. "What do you mean?" "The lights they are turning on, small lights along the hull. Energy readings are rising. It is waking up, sir." The fleet tensed. No one had expected anything like this. "All ships hold your positions," Jard commanded. "Do not approach closer. Observe only." The first lights along the supercarrier blinked and then glowed steadily. A low hum echoed through space, faint but noticeable. The alien crew looked at each other, confused and afraid. How could a human ship survive for centuries in deep space? Inside the ship, in a hidden chamber, cryogenic pods began to hiss. The air circulation systems turned on. Lights flickered inside the pods and frost slowly melted. In one pod, a human man awoke first. His eyes opened, calm and steady. He looked around the small chamber and touched the console beside him. "Systems are online," he said softly. "Status report AI. Captain Ethan Cole, primary systems functional. Secondary systems coming online. Power levels stable. Humans preserved in cryogenic state. 78% operational," replied the ship's AI, its voice mechanical but clear. Ethan sat up slowly, studying the frozen walls of the chamber. He had been asleep for hundreds of years, but his body felt strong. Training and human engineering had preserved him well. He touched the display again. "Wake the crew," he said. One by one, the other pods opened. Men and women stepped out, still groggy but quickly regaining their strength. Their uniforms were dusty but intact. Some stretched their limbs, Others looked at the ancient ship around them with awe. Outside, the Coalition fleet observed a sudden burst of energy. The supercarrier's engines glowed faintly, a soft blue light spreading across its hull. It did not move toward the alien ships, but it seemed aware of them. The energy readings were increasing. Sensors could barely measure the power. Commander Jard called a meeting with his officers. "I don't understand," he said. "This ship should be dead. It should not even have energy left. How is this possible?" Lieutenant Nina Hall shook her head. "We don't know, sir. It is activating. Its power seems beyond anything we have. Our weapons might not even affect it." "Prepare defensive shields," Jard ordered. "If it attacks, we need to survive. But I do not want to be the first to fire." Back inside the supercarrier, Captain Ethan Cole walked down a long corridor. The walls were clean, polished, and quiet. He observed the control panels lighting up as the ship awoke fully. His crew followed, now more alert and curious. "Report, Lieutenant," Ethan asked a young man named Luke Harper who had just exited a pod. "Ship is fully operational, sir. Power levels stable. Defensive systems are online. Weapons ready but inactive," Luke replied. Ethan nodded. He walked toward the main bridge. As he entered, he saw a vast room filled with consoles, holographic displays, and a large viewport. Through it, the Coalition fleet was visible, slowly moving around the supercarrier. "They have noticed us," Luke whispered. Ethan smiled faintly. "Good, let them watch. Let them remember that humans are not gone." On the alien side, the fleet's sensors picked up the movement inside the supercarrier. The lights in the hull shifted, and a strange pattern of energy pulses flickered outward. Some Coalition officers whispered to each other nervously. "What are they doing?" asked a young officer named Kira, her voice trembling. "They are alive, after all this time." Commander Jard stared at the readings. "They are human," he said quietly. "We thought they were gone. But they are moving, preparing, awake." The aliens realized too late that this was no ordinary ship. Legends spoke of human supercarriers being powerful, but no one had truly believed it. Now, the humans had returned, and the galaxy had no idea what they were capable of. Inside the supercarrier, Ethan Cole studied the fleet. "They are cautious," he said. "They think we are weak. Let them believe that, but we are not weak. We are prepared." "Sir, they are sending a small craft toward us," Luke Harper reported. Ethan nodded. "Let them come. We will observe first. No unnecessary aggression." The small Coalition craft approached slowly. Its sensors scanned the supercarrier, trying to determine the source of the energy. The crew inside watched, curious and tense. Suddenly, the supercarrier activated a low hum in response, and energy flares rippled along its hull. The Coalition craft stopped, its sensors overloaded for a moment. "Commander, they are reacting," the pilot said. Jard leaned forward. "Hold fire, wait for my order. Do not engage yet." Inside the supercarrier, Ethan Cole turned to his officers. "Prepare for first contact," he said. "But remember, we are not here to fight unless they force us. Humanity does not start wars, we end them." The small craft turned and moved back to the fleet. The aliens reported the readings, energy levels far beyond their calculations. Fear began to spread. Something they had long ignored was waking up. Something they had assumed was gone forever. Ethan stood on the bridge, watching the fleet. He felt no fear. Humans had survived worse. Humans had waited for centuries for the right moment. And now they were awake again. The galaxy did not know it yet, but the humans had returned. And the first moment of contact had only just begun. The Coalition fleet, confident and proud, floated in the darkness, unaware that their beliefs, their pride, and their will would soon face a force they could not ignore. And deep inside the supercarrier, the humans prepared quietly, ready to show the galaxy that they had never truly disappeared. The humans inside the supercarrier moved quickly but carefully. They were waking up after centuries in cryogenic sleep, but their training, discipline, and the ship's design kept them organized. Captain Ethan Cole walked down the main corridor with his second-in-command, Lieutenant Luke Harper, and Engineer Lisa Brown. "We need a full status report," Ethan said, his voice calm but firm. "How many of us are awake? How are the systems?" Luke spoke first. "Captain, 78% of the crew is operational. Cryogenic systems preserved us well. No major health issues detected. The ship's engines and energy systems are stable. Defensive and offensive systems are online but inactive. We are ready for orders." Lisa nodded. "The ship's AI has reactivated every subsystem. Navigation, weapons, shields, all functional. There are some minor glitches, but nothing we cannot handle." Ethan smiled faintly. "Good. That means we are not just floating ghosts. We can act. Let's make sure we understand the situation outside before we do anything else." On the main bridge, a massive viewport revealed the Coalition fleet circling the Supercarrier at a cautious distance. Their ships were sleek and advanced, moving in formation with confidence, but their sensors showed hesitation. Ethan could see it. The aliens did not understand what they were facing. "Do you think they will attack?" Lisa asked quietly. Ethan shook his head. "Not yet. They are observing. They want to understand, but they cannot. They have no idea what humans are capable of. That is our advantage." Luke pointed to the holographic display showing the fleet. "Sir, they are sending signals, communications. They want to talk." Ethan nodded. "Let them. Prepare the universal translator. I want to hear what they have to say." The bridge crew activated the communication systems. A holographic image appeared in front of them. Commander Jard Hill's face was displayed, serious and cautious. "Humans," he said, "we detect your ship. We thought you were extinct. You should not be here. Stand down and prepare to surrender. You are outmatched." "Resistance is useless." Ethan studied the commander carefully. "We were believed to be gone," he said calmly, "but we survived. We did not vanish. You left humans to die, but we endured, and now we are awake." Jard's expression hardened. "Your ship is ancient. Your technology cannot match modern Coalition fleets. Surrender peacefully. Avoid unnecessary bloodshed." Ethan shook his head. "We do not surrender. Humanity has never surrendered, and we will not start a war unless it is forced upon us. Stand down or you will see what humans are capable of." Luke whispered to Ethan, "Captain, do you think we should attack them? We could disable their fleet now." Ethan's eyes narrowed. "Not yet. We show restraint first. Let them understand. Let them see we are awake but not reckless. If they attack, we respond with full force. Humanity is not weak, but we are not the first to strike." On the Coalition side, Jard noticed the calm confidence in Ethan Cole's words. He had expected fear or hesitation, but the human captain spoke like a commander in full control. Unease spread among the Coalition officers. "Sir, they are not afraid," said Lieutenant Nina Hall. "They sound confident, too confident." Jard rubbed his temples. "We need to assess their capabilities. Send a small drone to scan them. Do not approach the ship." The drone moved forward, its sensors scanning the massive supercarrier. Energy readings spiked suddenly, and the drone systems almost overloaded. A wave of energy pulses radiated from the supercarrier, harmless but strong enough to confuse the sensors. "What is happening?" a Coalition officer exclaimed. "Their energy, it is beyond our calculations." Jard frowned. "Recall the drone, maintain formation. Keep defensive shields active. Do not fire unless fired upon." Inside the supercarrier, Ethan observed the drone through the viewport. "They want to measure us," he said. "Let them try. Let them feel our presence." Luke smiled. "Captain, we could disable that drone in seconds." Ethan shook his head. "Not yet. We do not humiliate them needlessly. Let them learn caution. That is the first lesson." Meanwhile, the humans explored their ship. The corridors were long and clean, almost like a city in space. Each section of the carrier was vast, designed to hold thousands of crew and hundreds of smaller ships. Lisa Brown walked through the engineering deck checking systems. "The fusion reactors are stable," she said. "We can operate at full power if needed. All weapons are functional, from plasma cannons to missile bays. Shields are operating at full strength. This ship, it is more than ready." Ethan visited the crew quarters where humans were waking up. They moved slowly, adjusting to life after centuries in cryogenic sleep. Some were confused, others amazed by the modern galaxy outside. "We survived," Ethan told them. "And now we have a chance to remind the galaxy that humans are not gone." Outside, the Coalition fleet maintained their position. They began sending more messages, trying to negotiate. "Humans," Jard said, "we offer peace. Stand down. No harm will come to your crew if you comply." Ethan's voice was calm but firm. "We are awake. We are ready. You will see we do not ask for permission, but we will not attack first. Humanity does not start wars without reason." The aliens studied the readings. They noticed the ship's size, the energy pulses, and the defensive systems. Panic began to ripple through the fleet. Some officers whispered that the humans were stronger than remembered. Some ships moved slightly backward. The confidence of the Coalition was starting to fade. Ethan turned to Luke and Lisa. "Prepare the ship for full operation. Navigation, defensive protocols, and communication arrays. Keep weapons ready but inactive. If they attack, we respond decisively." Lisa nodded. "Sir, we are ready. We could disable the fleet if you give the order." Ethan shook his head. "Not yet. We act only if necessary. Let them underestimate us. Let them feel the weight of human patience. That is a weapon as strong as any cannon." As the day passed, more Coalition ships approached cautiously, trying to study the Supercarrier. They sent messages, tried scanning the hull, and even attempted to measure the energy from a distance. Each time, the Supercarrier responded with subtle pulses, enough to disrupt sensors but not harm them. Commander Jard realized that his fleet was facing something beyond his understanding. "Sir, they are not just alive," one officer said. "They are fully operational. Their power is immense. I do not think our weapons can penetrate their shields." Jard's face turned pale. "We cannot fight them, they are too advanced. And yet they are ancient. How is this possible?" Inside the Supercarrier, Ethan Cole observed the fleet. "They are afraid," he said quietly. "They do not know our strength. We have been patient, but they are learning quickly. Let them watch. Let them see humans do not bow to fear." Luke smiled. "Captain, shall we show a small demonstration?" "Nothing lethal, just to make them understand." Ethan considered it. "Yes, we will show our presence without killing. A warning. Humans do not destroy without reason, but we will make them respect our return." The humans moved to the defensive stations. Shields flared and energy beams projected harmless patterns in space, visible to the fleet. The ships shook slightly under the energy pulse. Alarms rang faintly on some Coalition vessels. Fear spread. Jard called his officers. "Prepare to retreat if necessary. Do not provoke them. We cannot fight this ship. It is unimaginable." Inside the Supercarrier, Ethan watched the reactions carefully. He turned to his officers. "Let them see our patience, our restraint, and our strength. The galaxy will remember that humans have returned." And this is only the beginning. For the first time in centuries, humanity was awake and ready. The Supercarrier moved slowly through the void, silent but powerful. The Coalition fleet had witnessed a force beyond their understanding, and they would never forget it. And inside the Supercarrier, Ethan Cole smiled. Humans had survived extinction, waited in silence, and now they were ready to remind the galaxy that they had never truly gone. The first contact was not violent, but it had changed everything. Fear had entered the hearts of the Coalition. The humans were awake, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Coalition fleet had never seen anything like it. Their sensors showed a massive human supercarrier floating silently in space, glowing with energy pulses they could barely understand. Commander Jard Hill paced the bridge of his flagship. His officers were tense, whispering among themselves. "They are alive," said Lieutenant Nina Hall. "Not just alive, fully awake and fully functional. Their power, it is beyond anything we have." Jard ran his hands over his face. "We need to make a decision. They are not responding to our warnings. Do we attack or do we wait?" "We should wait," another officer suggested. "They have not made a hostile move, but their ship, it could destroy us all if provoked." Jard shook his head. "We cannot just sit here forever. Send a scout. Measure their energy again. We need data." The scout ship moved forward, its sensors attempting to probe the supercarrier. Inside, Captain Ethan Cole observed the movement through the main viewport. He did not panic. He had prepared for this. Humans had survived worse than this, and centuries of patience had taught him control. "Let them scan," he said quietly. "Let them learn what they face. Keep weapons in standby. Do not fire unless necessary." Lieutenant Luke Harper nodded. "Sir, our systems are ready. We can disable their fleet with minimal effort if you give the order." Ethan shook his head. "Not yet. Humans act with purpose, not haste. We will show strength, not recklessness." The scout's sensors scanned the hull, and for a moment all seemed calm. Then suddenly a wave of energy pulsed from the supercarrier. The scout ship shuddered, lights flickered, its instruments went haywire. The coalition crew gasped. "What is happening?" asked Nina Hall. "Our sensors, they are failing." Jard leaned over the console. "Pull the scout back. Now." The scout ship retreated quickly, shaking violently under the energy pulse. On board the supercarrier, Ethan observed it calmly. "They are learning," he said. "This is the first lesson. Humans are not weak. Our presence is our warning." The fleet hesitated, uncertain. Commander Jard realized that he could not risk aggression. Their weapons might not work. Even a single mistake could cost them hundreds of ships. Inside the supercarrier, Ethan walked down a corridor with Lisa Brown. "How long until full operational readiness?" he asked. Lisa checked her tablet. "All weapons are ready, shields at maximum, energy reserves stable. We can move at full speed within minutes. Defensive systems are fully functional. Offensive systems are prepared for controlled strikes." Ethan nodded. "Good. Let them see a demonstration. Nothing lethal. Show the galaxy that humans have returned." On the bridge, Ethan turned to his crew. "Prepare a controlled test. Activate the targeting systems. Fire a non-lethal pulse at one of their smaller ships, just enough to disable their systems temporarily." The crew moved efficiently. Consoles lit up. Energy beams flared in controlled bursts. Outside, the pulse struck a small coalition vessel. Its engines shut down. It drifted powerless. Alarms blared. The aliens scrambled to regain control. Jard slammed his hand on the console. "What did they do? That ship, it is disabled, but no lives were lost." Nina's eyes were wide. "Sir, they are showing us their power without destroying us. They could obliterate us if they wanted." The human supercarrier moved slowly, keeping its position. Ethan watched the reactions carefully. "They are afraid. Let them feel it. Let them understand." Inside the coalition fleet, panic spread. Some officers wanted to attack immediately. Others argued for retreat. The unity of the coalition began to fracture. "We need to regroup," Jard said. "All ships maintain defensive formation. Do not engage unless fired upon. We cannot risk total destruction." Meanwhile, the humans prepared another demonstration. This time, the target was a group of coalition ships attempting to flank the supercarrier. Energy beams rippled through space, disabling engines and weapons without causing harm to the crew. Ships drifted, immobilized but intact. "Look at them," Luke whispered. "They cannot believe it. We are ancient, but we are stronger than they imagined." Ethan nodded. "Strength without violence. That is how humans survive. That is how humans remind the galaxy that we are awake." The coalition fleet tried to move in closer, hoping to intimidate the humans. They fired small laser arrays, but the supercarrier's shields absorbed the attacks effortlessly. The lasers bounced harmlessly off the energy field. "What is happening?" shouted a coalition officer. "Their shields, our weapons cannot penetrate them." Jard's face turned pale. Pull back immediately." The aliens realized that the humans were no longer a threat to be ignored. They were a force beyond imagination, a civilization that had survived extinction and now commanded technology and strategy centuries ahead of the coalition. Ethan observed the retreating fleet through the viewport. "They understand now," he said quietly. "The galaxy is learning a new lesson. Humans are not to be underestimated, not ever." Inside the supercarrier, the crew moved efficiently. Defensive systems were active. Offensive systems were ready. Communication channels were open, but the humans did not broadcast threats. Their message was clear without words. Humanity is awake, ready, and patient. As the hours passed, the coalition fleet tried to reorganize. They sent new ships to replace the disabled ones, but each attempt failed. Every maneuver met with controlled human responses. Ships were disabled temporarily, weapons were neutralized, and energy pulses continued to disrupt sensors. The aliens had no choice but to observe. Commander Jard called for a full fleet meeting. "We cannot fight them directly. They are stronger than our combined forces. Every attempt to attack is futile. We need another approach. Negotiation, caution, anything but direct combat." Meanwhile, Ethan Cole addressed his officers on the supercarrier. "We do not destroy unless necessary. We show our strength, our control, and our discipline. The coalition is learning that humans survived. That is enough for now." Lisa checked the systems one more time. "Captain, we are fully prepared for full combat. If you give the order, we could neutralize the entire fleet in minutes." Ethan smiled faintly. "We will not. Humans do not strike first without reason. Patience is a weapon stronger than any cannon. Let the coalition realize that." The demonstration continued. The humans fired energy pulses at specific ships, causing temporary system failures. Ships drifted helplessly but were unharmed. Panic spread across the fleet. Communication lines were flooded with confusion. Some alien leaders demanded retreat, others called for diplomacy. Jard's face was tense. "We cannot maintain this fleet. The humans are too strong. Our unity is breaking." Some species are already withdrawing support. They fear retaliation. Inside the supercarrier, Ethan watched quietly. "Patience and strength. That is all we need. Humanity has survived extinction. Now the galaxy must learn that lesson." By the end of the day, the coalition fleet had retreated partially, reorganizing far from the supercarrier. They had seen human power and discipline firsthand. No lives had been lost, but fear had entered every mind. Humans were no longer a forgotten species. Ethan turned to his officers. "We have completed the first stage. The galaxy has observed our return. They know humans are awake. Tomorrow we continue, but always with restraint. Let the coalition make mistakes. Let them fear, but do not strike unless necessary." Luke nodded. "Captain, they will remember this day forever. The coalition never expected humans to survive, and now they know better." Ethan looked at the stars outside the viewport. "This is only the beginning. The humans who survived will remind the galaxy that we do not vanish, that we endure, that we shape our destiny, and the supercarrier will lead the way." The human supercarrier moved slowly, confidently through space. Its engines hummed softly. Its crew worked efficiently. And the coalition fleet, scattered and uncertain, realized that the humans had returned, not as legends, not as ghosts, but as a force that could not be ignored. The first day of human resurgence ended quietly, but the galaxy would never forget it. The humans had demonstrated strength, patience, and discipline. The coalition's will had begun to shake, and fear had entered the hearts of even the bravest alien commanders. Inside the supercarrier, Ethan Cole stood on the bridge, watching the stars. "We survived extinction," he said softly. "Now we will survive the galaxy, and the galaxy will learn to respect humanity once more. The Coalition fleet had retreated, but the tension did not end. Command centers across many worlds buzzed with alarms, urgent messages, and debates. The humans were awake, the humans were strong, and the Coalition had no clear plan to stop them. Commander Jard Hill sat in his office on the flagship. His hands rested on the console, eyes fixed on the holographic display of the human supercarrier. He felt a cold weight in his chest. For centuries, the Coalition had believed humans were gone, a dead species that no longer mattered. Now all that certainty was gone. "Sir," said Lieutenant Nina Hall, standing beside him, "reports from the outer colonies show panic. Some systems are already withdrawing support from the Coalition. They fear retaliation if we continue to act against the humans." Jard rubbed his forehead. "How many?" "Nearly 40% of our member systems have stopped sending fleets or supplies. Some worlds are cutting communications entirely. They do not want to be involved." Jard exhaled slowly. "We are losing control faster than I thought. They may not have attacked yet, but the humans have shattered our image of strength." Meanwhile, the human supercarrier drifted through space at a steady pace. Captain Ethan Cole stood on the bridge, observing the galaxy through the massive viewport. Around him, officers monitored sensors, checked systems, and prepared communications. "Lieutenant Harper," Ethan said, "prepare a broadcast. I want the galaxy to understand why humans returned. Keep it factual, calm, but firm." Luke nodded. "Broadcasting to Coalition and neutral systems. Yes, every species must hear this. No threats, no insults. Just history, truth, and our presence." On the main display, a calm, measured human voice began to speak, echoing across space to every listening vessel. "Humans survived extinction. For centuries we were abandoned by the galaxy. For centuries we waited. Now we are awake. We are not here to conquer. We are here to exist, to protect our people, and to ensure that humanity is never ignored again." Across the Coalition, commanders paused. The broadcast reached worlds that had not seen humans for generations. Some citizens watched with awe. Some leaders felt fear. The humans were no longer a threat to be forgotten, they were a force to respect. In Coalition Council chambers, representatives argued. "We cannot fight them," said one alien diplomat. "They are too strong. Our weapons do not work. Our fleets cannot match their defenses." Another barked in anger. "We cannot allow humans to dictate terms. They are just one species, one ancient species. We have ruled the galaxy for centuries." "Do you not see?" another representative asked quietly. "Their message is simple. They do not want war, yet they are capable of it. They will force respect without firing a shot. We are already losing. The galaxy is afraid." Back on the supercarrier, Ethan Cole watched the Coalition fleets respond to his broadcast. Some ships pulled back further, avoiding confrontation. Others stayed in orbit, hesitant. "They are learning," he said. "Patience, discipline, and demonstration. They fear us without a single human firing a weapon to kill. That is how we survive." Lisa Brown approached him. "Captain, they are trying to communicate. Some of the alien worlds want to negotiate. They want to offer alliances, protection, or peace." Ethan considered this. "We accept negotiations, but on our terms. Humanity survived extinction. We deserve respect. No one will dictate to us again. Prepare a response, Lieutenant." Luke nodded and typed rapidly. A calm message was sent to the Coalition. "We are awake. We will not be attacked. We will not start wars. Speak with honesty and respect, and there will be peace. Try deception or aggression, and you will see the strength of humanity. That is all we ask." In the Coalition fleets, fear spread rapidly. Worlds that had once depended on Coalition leadership now hesitated. Some began withdrawing ships. Trade networks faltered. Systems reconsidered alliances. Commanders realized that humans were not only strong, they were a symbol of resistance and survival. Jard Hill struggled to maintain order. "All units hold position. Do not act without my command." Officers shook their heads. Sir, they are ignoring orders. Systems are leaving our coalition fleets. They will not return. Jard slammed his fist on the console. Then we adapt. We find a way to survive this. We cannot show weakness, but the humans, they are different. They are not like anything we have fought before. On board the supercarrier, Ethan Cole moved through the corridors. Humans who had been asleep for centuries were now awake, trained, and prepared. Some explored the ship, others trained, keeping their skills sharp. They were humans who survived extinction, and every action reminded them of why patience, intelligence, and strength were essential. Lisa checked the energy levels again. Captain, we are ready to demonstrate more if necessary. Defensive systems at maximum. Offensive systems can target multiple ships simultaneously. All crew members alert and ready. Ethan nodded. Not yet. We are not here to kill. Let the coalition learn restraint. Let them see that humanity is patient, disciplined, and awake. That alone will shatter their confidence. Across the galaxy, the broadcast continued. Citizens on multiple planets began speaking openly about the humans. They survived when everyone thought they were gone, one alien commented. They waited, and now they are awake. We cannot ignore them. In Coalition Council halls, arguments became heated. We cannot fight them, a commander admitted. We lack the power, our fleets are useless against one human supercarrier, we must seek terms. Terms? Another barked. You mean surrender. Call it what you like, the first replied. We cannot risk war. The humans have patience, strategy, and technology beyond our understanding. They do not attack first, but they could, and we would not survive. The fear was spreading faster than any military strike. Worlds began abandoning their coalition support. Some species secretly contacted the supercarrier, offering dialogue and protection. Others prepared to withdraw entirely. The coalition's unity was breaking. Inside the supercarrier, Ethan Cole smiled faintly. They are beginning to understand, he said to Luke Harper. The galaxy sees that humans survived, that humans endure, that humans command respect. Luke nodded. And all without killing anyone yet. They will never forget this day. The humans prepared for the next phase. Ships and crew were ready for rapid movement. Weapons were online. Defensive shields could repel any attack. Energy reserves were at full capacity. The supercarrier was ready to move through space with confidence. Ethan addressed the bridge crew. Humanity survived extinction. Humanity will endure. Let the galaxy learn patience, strength, and discipline. Today we send a message. Tomorrow we prepare for what comes next, but always with restraint. Strength is meaningless without control. Lisa added, Captain, the coalition is watching us closely. They fear retaliation, but they do not understand our full capabilities yet. Shall we demonstrate more power, non-lethal of course, to reinforce the message? Ethan thought carefully. Yes, but only enough to make them respect our presence. We show control, intelligence, and patience. Let them know humans are awake and we are not weak. The supercarrier released a subtle energy wave, visible to all coalition ships. Systems temporarily malfunctioned. Sensors glitched. Power fluctuations echoed across the fleet. Ships drifted in confusion. No one was harmed, but the message was clear. Humans were back, stronger than any memory or legend could suggest. In the council halls of the coalition, panic spread. Worlds were leaving. Trade was disrupted. Leadership was questioned. The unity of centuries began to crumble. Commander Jard Hill knew that the coalition's power was fading, and the humans had done it without firing a single lethal shot. Back on the supercarrier, Ethan Cole walked through the corridors. Humans moved efficiently, disciplined, and calm. He observed their work. We survived extinction. We endured in silence. Now we remind the galaxy that humanity commands respect, and they will remember this. By the end of the day, the coalition was in turmoil. Some fleets had withdrawn entirely. Some worlds had begun independent negotiations with the humans. The humans had not attacked, yet their strength had reshaped political and military alliances across the galaxy. Ethan looked out at the stars, calm and confident. The coalition's unity is broken. Fear spreads faster than weapons fire. Humanity has awakened, and the galaxy is learning a lesson it will never forget. The human supercarrier moved slowly through space, silent but powerful. It did not attack. It did not threaten. It simply existed, awake and ready. Its presence alone had shattered the coalition's confidence and sent shockwaves across the galaxy. Inside, Ethan Cole addressed the crew. Patience, discipline, and strength. That is how humans endure. That is how humans survive extinction. And that is how humans remind the galaxy that we are awake. The next chapter begins soon, but always with restraint, always with control. The galaxy had witnessed something new. Humanity had returned. The coalition was shaken. Fear had entered the hearts of leaders and citizens alike, and humanity, patient, disciplined, and strong, had not fired a single weapon to kill. The message was clear. Humans were awake. The coalition's will was breaking. And the galaxy would never forget it. The galaxy had changed. Coalition fleets that had once patrolled with pride now moved cautiously, uncertain of their own strength. The humans were awake, patient, and disciplined, but the fear they inspired was spreading like wildfire. Captain Ethan Cole stood on the bridge of the supercarrier, calm as always, observing the stars and the distant fleets. "Sir," said Lieutenant Luke Harper, "some coalition leaders are trying to rally remaining ships for an attack. They are desperate." Ethan nodded slowly. "Let them try. They will learn quickly. Prepare the defensive systems, but do not fire unless they strike first. Humanity survives because we are strong and restrained. That is the difference." Lisa Brown checked the weapons systems. "Captain, all systems ready. We can disable multiple fleets at once if you give the order. Shields at maximum. Energy reserves stable. Crew alert." Ethan smiled faintly. "We are not here to destroy unnecessarily. We show power with discipline. Let them feel fear without bloodshed." Across the coalition, panic had grown. Worlds were withdrawing support, and internal conflict was rising. Some species were arguing over whether to negotiate or surrender. Some fleets refused orders entirely, retreating from key positions. The coalition's unity was shattering under the pressure of the humans' presence. Jard Hill, commander of the main coalition fleet, tried to rally his officers. "All ships hold formation. We cannot fight them, but we cannot retreat entirely. We need a strategy." An officer whispered, "Sir, strategy is useless. Their supercarrier is ancient, massive, and fully operational. Their power is beyond our weapons. We cannot win." Jard's eyes widened. "Then we survive however we can. Do not provoke them. Avoid any unnecessary aggression." Meanwhile, the humans prepared for their next step. Ethan Cole called a meeting with his senior officers on the bridge. "The galaxy is learning. Fear spreads faster than fire. Some worlds are negotiating. Others are withdrawing. We will not attack unless forced, but we will ensure humans are respected." Luke Harper nodded. "Captain, we could disable entire fleets without casualties if needed. The demonstration yesterday worked. Should we continue?" Ethan shook his head. "One more controlled demonstration is enough. It will show human strength clearly. After that, restraint becomes our strategy. Patience is the weapon." The supercarrier moved slowly through space. Sensors detected the largest cluster of remaining coalition fleets. Ethan turned to his officers. "Prepare a non-lethal disabling sequence. Target engines and weapons only. No lives lost. Only fear and respect will remain." Lisa activated the systems. Energy beams flared silently. Power pulses spread across the fleets. Ships shuddered. Engines failed. Weapons went offline. The coalition crews scrambled to regain control. Panic was visible on every bridge, every command center. Jard Hill shouted, pull back immediately. We cannot engage." But some ships had already been disabled. Fear spread among the remaining commanders. They realized that the humans had the power to destroy them, yet chose restraint. Their control, discipline, and intelligence were overwhelming. Ethan observed calmly. They are learning that humans survived, that humans endure, that humans cannot be ignored. Across the galaxy, the humans sent messages of peace and order. We do not attack unless provoked. We survived extinction. We will not allow humanity to be forgotten again. Treat us with honesty and respect, and there will be peace. Threaten us, and you will face our strength. The messages were simple, calm, and clear. Worlds listened, some with relief, some with fear. Citizens began speaking openly about the humans. They survived when everyone thought they were gone, one alien remarked. They are patient, disciplined, and strong. We cannot ignore them. In coalition council halls, leaders argued bitterly. We cannot fight them, one said. They are too strong. Their supercarrier is massive, ancient, and fully operational. Our fleets are useless. Another barked, we cannot surrender, we are the coalition. Call it what you like, the first replied. We cannot risk war. Humanity survived extinction. They are awake. They command respect, and they will not attack unless provoked. The supercarrier moved steadily through space. Humans on board trained, prepared, and maintained the ship. Ethan walked among them, observing their discipline. We survived extinction, he said. We endured centuries of waiting. Now the galaxy will respect us. And we will act with patience and intelligence always. Luke Harper checked the tactical displays. Captain, remaining fleets are attempting minor maneuvers. They are testing us. Should we respond? Ethan considered. Yes, but only to demonstrate our control. We will disable engines, shields, and weapons without harm. Let them see power and restraint together. That is how humans lead the galaxy. The humans moved quickly. Energy pulses spread across the coalition ships. Engines failed. Weapons offline. Communications disrupted. Ships drifted helplessly. No lives were lost, but fear spread faster than any weapon fire. Jard Hill's face turned pale. We cannot hold. We cannot fight them. Humanity, they are not gone. They are awake, and they are stronger than anything we imagined. Across the galaxy, independent worlds began contacting the supercarrier. They offered dialogue, protection, and negotiation. They wanted peace with the humans, knowing resistance was futile. The coalition's power was collapsing, and humanity's reputation was spreading faster than any fleet could move. Inside the supercarrier, Ethan addressed his crew. Patience, discipline, strength. That is how humans endure. That is how humans survived extinction. That is how humans remind the galaxy we are awake. Today we show restraint. Tomorrow we shape the galaxy, but always with control. Lisa added, Captain, the remaining coalition fleets are in retreat. They fear retaliation, but they cannot understand our full power yet. Shall we continue demonstrations? Ethan shook his head. One more controlled display is enough. We will not humiliate unnecessarily. Fear with respect is stronger than destruction. Let them learn that humans endure. The final demonstration was precise. Energy beams rippled across the remaining fleets. Engines shut down. Weapons failed. Ships drifted, disabled but unharmed. The humans had shown that they could end the coalition's power in moments. The message was clear. Humanity had returned, and it was unstoppable if provoked. Across the galaxy, the coalition crumbled. Some leaders surrendered. Others withdrew completely. Trade, communication, and military networks failed. Humanity's return reshaped alliances and politics. Fear and respect spread among citizens and leaders alike. Ethan Cole watched quietly. The coalition's will is broken, he said. The galaxy has seen humanity awake. That alone has changed everything. But we act with discipline. We do not destroy. We endure, and we command respect. Luke nodded. Captain, the galaxy will never forget this day. Humanity is back. Strong, disciplined, patient. The coalition has learned their place. Ethan smiled. Yes, But remember, strength without control is meaningless. Humanity survived extinction. We survived because we were disciplined, patient, and intelligent. Let that guide us in the future. The galaxy must respect humans, not fear them blindly. The supercarrier moved slowly, silently through space. It was a symbol of human endurance and strength. Ships in retreat and independent worlds alike watched it pass. Humanity had returned not as conquerors but as survivors. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Humans could not be ignored. Inside the ship, Ethan walked through the corridors. Humans moved efficiently, training, preparing, and maintaining discipline. "We survived extinction," he said softly. "Now we survive the galaxy, and the galaxy will respect humanity not because we destroy, but because we endure." By the end of the day, the coalition fleets had withdrawn. Some worlds sought negotiation. Some retreated completely. Humanity had not fired lethal weapons to prove dominance, yet fear and respect spread faster than any battle could. The humans had reshaped the galaxy without spilling blood. Ethan addressed his officers one final time. "We have survived extinction, returned to the galaxy, and reminded every species that humanity endures. We act with patience, discipline, and intelligence. The galaxy is awake to our presence, and from now on humans will never be forgotten." The human supercarrier continued its journey through space. Its engines hummed softly. Its shields glowed faintly. Its crew remained calm, disciplined, and alert. Humanity had returned. The coalition was broken, and the galaxy would never again underestimate the strength, patience, and endurance of humans. The first phase of human resurgence was complete. Fear and respect had spread across the stars. The humans had not sought war, but their strength alone had reshaped galactic politics and power. Humanity was awake. Humanity endured, and humanity would never be ignored again.